So, you all exit the building, and the man in leather is talking to Charlotte off to the side across the street. I believe one of you is dragging a dead corpse.
Yes, in fact, I set the dead body on the ground, and I stare at Cor. What should we do with this?
Shallow grave? I'm thinking shallow grave.
Shallow grave? Perhaps we could use him.
Use the corpse? That's morbid. No, shallow grave. The jackals have to eat too.
I had forgotten about the jackals.
I nod and slowly lead him and the corpse away.
As you lead away, Jack is going to just raise up a hand. He's like, I don't know if there's jackals on this planet.
Evelyn is like pressed up against the building, like covering her mouth, look like she's going to be physically ill.
Oak is looking down at his arm and slowly flexing his hand back and forth.
I'll do my best to try not and stare while you do that.
The man in leather walks up and says, whatever you plan to do it quickly. We need to leave. And he points to a giant semi-truck that you saw earlier. He says, that's the rig. That's where we'll be gathering fuel. I need you guys to man it. Someone man the turret. The rest of you have weapons, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
Good. There's cover on the top. Take whatever positions you feel you're best at. It is not unknown to be attacked by raiders on the road.
How long is the trip going to be there, boss?
Well, assuming we don't come across any trouble, about 12-hour trip. Might have to stop at night, might not. Depends on how things go. But 12-hour trip there, 24-hour trip back. I'll get you to Maneater. And it's Mel. Mel's fine.
All right, Mel.
That Charlotte goes, well, I'm sitting in the front because it looks uncomfortable up there, so have fun with that.
Cor and I return. My hands are covered in dirt and also blood. You hear us talking aloud. I did not know the jackals on this planet were so hungry. They didn't even wait until we had him buried.
Evelyn, like, lurches over and just straight up vomits.
I shrug and nod quietly.
Are you going to be okay, Evelyn?
I'm fine. I'll be in the ATV. I'll follow behind.
I approach these three, holding out my bloodied hands. Do any of you have a towel?
Oh!
Oak steps back. No.
I turn to Cor.
I sigh, reach into my pocket, and pull out a handkerchief. I mean, sure. Fine. It's my only one. What if I get... Oh, okay, fine. I hand it over. My eyes get itchy from all this dust. I'm holding it against you. I point backwards as I walk away.
I approach the rest of the group, drying the blood off my hands.
Jack will use the spikes on the side of the truck as handholds to get onto the turret.
Zach is going to look up at his brother getting on the turret. He's going to look over to Evelyn, who got in the car. He's going to look back up to his brother. Back to Evelyn.
I will take the car.
It appears Zach is on a very long debate with himself before he sighs and begins to climb up the other side to join his brother onto the top of the truck.
You notice as you climb, both of you, that the side of the truck is covered in metal jagged spikes that look like torn pieces of car fender or bumpers or other bits of metal. They look like they've been glued or welded onto the side in a very haphazard sort of way. But they are sharp and they are rigid.
Jack will just make a small comment. I'm surprised.
Oh, well, we're on the mission, and we always work best together, right?
He'll just stare at you for a little bit and go, okay.
You see Oak jump up and brush himself off a bit.
Oh, hey, Doc. You gonna join us up here, right?
He actually gives a kind of a toothy grin at your comment. Thank you. I think you were the first person who actually called me by my profession. Yes, I will be joining you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, make yourself at home. As much as home can be, and Zach will kind of kick at the riveted floor of the top of the truck.
So much disease.
Yep, Zach will say as he takes his rifle, his long rifle from his back, and checks the telescopic sight and cleans it, but clearly trying not to make eye contact with Oak.
Oak,
Yes.
you have a weapon of some kind, correct?
Oak unslings a fairly large harpoon gun from his back.
And Jack will just nod at that and turn back to the turret.
Yeah, despite trying not to look directly at Oak, I will very happily look at the weapon in his hands for a moment.
As you guys do that, you hear a scrape of metal coming from the cab, and Mel pops his head up out of a sunroof and says, "When we get going, things get kind of loud. If you need anything, just come up here and bang on the hood."
Yes, sir.
He raises an eyebrow at Oak, and he says, "It's Mel." And then he sits back down. Charlotte pops her head up and mouths, "It's Mel."
Well, Cor, would you like to drive? Or perhaps you, Evelyn?
I didn't think anyone else could drive.
Yes, like to drive, yes. Can drive, no.
Oh, right. I forgot about the incident with the van.
Oh, don't just let the van thing go. I sit in the front seat.
Very well. Evelyn, if you would please drive.
2.5 vans, and people just don't ever seem to let you forget about it.
So, do you guys normally deal with, dead bodies?
I glance over at Cor.
Oh yeah, I'm a chef. I cut up dead things all the time.
Human?
Human? No. No, that's part of something else. Honestly, you get a little less squeamish after you deal with, what was it? Probably like a gross fish. Probably lost it all on a gross fish. Don't worry, you run out of sort of will to throw up eventually. You'll get better.
Okay.
Yes, and I used to work for the mob as a hitman.
What?
Yeah, also that, mostly that.
What?
Cor was also taken on as the cleaner for the mob.
Yep.
Not for the murders that I did.
Are you...
Honestly, I'd like to attribute it more to my cooking skills, but sure, fine. Yeah, I was a cleaner for the mob for a bit.
You both worked with the mob.
Yes.
Yep, yeah. Not the proudest chapter of my life.
Evelyn kind of leans over towards, like, the door of the car and is like...
I also worked at a pizza place.
She's, like, grabbing at, like, the door handle, but doesn't realize she locked the car, so it's not opening.
Evelyn, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just having a moment. I'll be okay. Let's just go.
Very well.
I hit the radio.
I stare off into the distance.
You hit the radio and you hear Wansu's voice. "What? Yes? Was someone talking to me?"
Oh, no, we were just telling Evelyn about our
I
extensive
quickly slap my
moon
hand over Tom's mouth and quietly mouth a quiet motion.
Wansuk!
Are you alright, Evelyn?
Why are you pointing at your nose, Cor?
I have a question about, the people we're traveling. I'm traveling, the other students.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with their hobbies?
We were just telling you, Evelyn. Cor used to be a chef.
If you're referring to the van incident, I'm well aware of it, yes.
What happened with the van?
You crashed 2.5 vans and they just never let it go. They just never let it
For
go.
the first time, you see Dom express something of an emotion. Regret.
My brow furrows deeply. I light up a cigarette and hunch over, staring out the front of the van. I mean car!
Wansuk says, "Evelyn, just keep your mind on the job. You'll be fine."
Okay.
Yes, that's what they taught us in the mob as well.
Has Mel started up his truck yet?
Yes, he's starting up the truck now.
All right. Then Zach is going to give a wave as his hand to signal the other car to get ready.
I get out and wave back.
Oh, God. Just get in and get ready! You hear him shout from atop the truck.
I nod and get in.
Continue grumbling about vans.
Maybe we should talk about something cute. Like, kittens or something.
Cor once cut up a 2-headed fish when he was working at the pizzeria.
Okay, that's a start.
Oak is currently bent over, picking at some rust. Wonder what kind of disease could possibly... Yes.
Hey,
I think that would...
hey, Doc, mind giving the top of the your section there a few whacks with your fist? Let Mel know that we're ready to go.
He stares at you for a few more seconds than anybody should while not moving.
Okay.
While still looking at you, generally unblinking, he's going to rise up his body in this abnormally straight fashion, rise up his hand, and give 2 rather mild thumps on the ceiling.
And Zach is going to kind of give a bit of an encouraging nod, and then turn around to his brother and say, "See, I'd be crazy not to split from you. You're the only sane person here."
Jack will slowly turn around and stare at him, and then wide-eyed nod and go back to the turret.
You see Mel give a thumbs up from outside the window, Oak, and the truck starts rolling off with a bunch of shaking and rattling. One thing that the 3 of you notice on top of that, this is a very sturdy platform.
Oh, good.
I mean, obviously, when moving, you have to be careful, but it's not as flimsy as you might think a regular trailer would be. And with that, you guys roll out. And you're all stricken by the fact that as you drive for over 2 hours, you see no signs of civilization. You see nothing but dirt and cactuses and mountains off in the distance, a few rock formations here and there, but it is absolutely barren and desolate. There aren't even roads. There's some tracks here and there, some wheels, but there's nothing that would be a permanent path as your car and the semi-truck roll down for several hours.
I'm going to sit in the back seat, polish and sharpen my blade, and talk about my experiences with the mob.
Oh, God.
Actually, Evelyn starts off very concerned, but as like an hour or so passes with this conversation, she becomes more interested and starts engaging you in like questions and like the specifics.
And right about then is whenever Cor joined the mob. He was originally taken on as hired help. We were both arrested at once, you see. It was quite nice.
That was quite nice. Quite nice. Sure, he got himself into way too much trouble. On reflection, probably not. I stare at the sword. But yeah, we both got arrested at the same time. I lost my job.
It's a shame. I loved your food at that strange pizza restaurant.
Really? Thank you. It was a normal pizza restaurant, but thank you regardless.
Yes.
I stare at you.
So if you got arrested, did you go to prison or jail?
Oh, yes. The mob paid our bail. We were out within the night.
Oh, gee, how much did that cost?
I don't remember.
Oh.
Quadruple digits?
Oh. Oh.
I sigh. Oh, I could buy so many fish with that money.
You seem to really like fish. Is there a story behind that?
I'm a big fan of fish.
Oh.
You know, I came from a planet with lots of water on it. It's
Oh.
sort of what I'm interested in. Seafood. Seafood in particular.
So if you came from a planet with a lot of water, do you have gills?
No, I get that question.
I have asked the same question.
Yeah, I get this question more often than you'd expect. He asks me it at least twice a week.
I have to be certain you have not grown gills.
I lean in close to Evelyn, so maybe Dom doesn't hear. Don't ask if he has gills. He's very sensitive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I get that question surprisingly a lot, and honestly, the mob stuff wasn't too bad, or I've just grown completely desensitized to it after, you know, what was it, a year's hard labor?
You did cry the first time.
I did cry, yes.
And the second time.
And the second time, yeah. But I'd say I was pretty hardcore after the third time. Really? Third time?
What?
I cried the third time, too.
Yes.
Okay. But I toughened up really quick, you know? That's just how it is sometimes. You've got to grow strong and evolve, or you'll get washed away by the tides of,
Well, yes, if you're not stronger than the mark you're sent to kill, you'll die. Simple as that.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the times and how intense things can get around here in particular, but...
What time is it? I look at the
Okay,
clock.
sure. You know, sometimes I struggle with this, and I'm just glad that somebody else is in the car to at least witness what I go through.
I don't see a problem with the times.
Okay.
Oh, 'cause- oh my. Evelyn is just like staring at the road, but like peeking over at them.
And that's how you can get tetanus from this.
That is a very nice story, Oak.
There's other things you can get illed by rust. One of my favorites is one that destroys your nervous system, locking up your jaw, your neck stiffens, your body's just does not respond, high fever, and could drown your own saliva.
Jack will slowly turn to look at his brother.
And Zach will turn from his brother back to Oak and say, "Exactly what kind of doctor are you?"
What do you mean?
Like, are you a medical doctor, or do you have, like, a PhD, or, like, a surgeon? Or...
If you're asking if I have a diploma, no. But I am well practiced.
On people?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Zach will say, giving a bit of a nervous smile, and all of a sudden he thinks he spots something on the horizon, but it's nothing.
For whatever reason, maybe Evelyn's nervously watching all three mirrors as taught in driving school, whatever
Of
the
course.
case may be.
2 seconds
You
each.
eventually notice a large cloud of dust, several hundred meters behind the ATV, and it looks like it's coming towards you.
Evelyn is like just like looking ahead of her and then looking in like the rearview mirror and
So of course, if you're killing someone,
Does
you need to
anyone
strike.
else?
You need to be certain that you get them in one clean cut. Otherwise, your blade will dull.
Mr. Domhnall, do you see
Yes,
do you see the dust behind us?
there's dust everywhere on this planet.
I shouldn't have asked you. Mr. Core, do you
Oh,
see?
yeah. Huh?
Do you
What?
see
Sorry?
the dust behind us?
I cock one of my eyebrows and focus real close.
Is that normal?
I don't think that is normal.
Evelyn starts honking the horn.
And he'll look towards the vehicle, Zach will, and he'll turn on his radio and say, "Everyone see what's directly south of us?"
Yeah-huh?
You hear over the radio, "Hey, good eye!" And then a loud clapping sound as Core claps Evelyn on the back.
You notice that the ATV bends like out of position and curves back in right behind you.
Zach is gonna be right back. He's gonna carefully start meandering down the center of the truck. So I'll move to the edge here, and I'll slam a fist on the top of the cab, and then I'll start shouting down to Mel, "We got something behind us!"
The top of the cab will slide open. Mal will look up and say, "What do you see?"
Didn't get a great sight, but it's kicking up a lot of dust.
He'll hand up a pair of binoculars,
Okay, I'll snatch them.
and he says, "Tell me what you see. Describe them in detail."
All right, and then Zach will stand up from his current position. Looks like 4 cars, 2 motorcycles, and a truck. But they might be friendly. They're wearing the same guys as your old crew out on the bar.
Mel's head snaps up and says, "What?"
They're wearing the same outfits as the guys at the bar, so they're part of your crew, right? They're man-eaters people?
That doesn't make any sense. There's no way they could have found... Wait, he looks back at you. You killed them all, right?
Yes, all of them. Zach says, and he leaves. Can I do another balance check? Because I'm going to be running across the top of this. I stumble, and I'm going to get on the radio. But, of course, Jack and Oak are going to hear me the most clearly. Gonna be like, guys, they're not friendly. They're not friendly at all. We have to finish what we started at the bar. So, get ready.
Those guys again already?
Yep, already.
They should have not come back for another round.
I can't even begin to process Oak right now. I got other things to worry about.
Radio, you hear a very calm voice from Charlotte. And she kicks on the radio, and you can hear in the background cursing. You hear Charlotte go,
Yeah, guys, he's pretty pissed. Apparently, he's upset.
and you hear this,
Can they hear me? Yeah, they can hear you.
and then you hear Mel from the background.
You told me you killed all of them. If you didn't, they warned them that we are here. They are not friendlies. They are not on our side. We run or we die. Those are our options. They will kill us. Got it?
And then you hear,
Did you guys get that? Evelyn, did you get that?